Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sunburst Sunday Meditation. My name's Emily Wirtz, and I'm going to be talking today about honoring great saints and sages. It's been a very transition time here at the sanctuary. We're adjusting, like everyone is, to all the new guidelines coming out. We're excitedly looking towards reopening in-person Sunday services, so stay tuned for that. Very excited about that, and finding a way to stay connected to all of you who don't live close enough to come in person, so that will all be developing. The weather is in transition as well. The month of May always brings windy afternoons. And for about the first 10 years that I was out here, I just didn't believe that it was that predictable, but it's just part of the transition in this area of moving from the cooler time of year to the warmer time of year. And it's very windy, very blustery, but I'm looking at it in the late afternoons. It gets that way. Like right now, it's lovely and pleasant. Recording in the morning here. It's really got me thinking about what transitions we might want to make within ourselves. What is Spirit trying to move within us? So just a little nugget to think about with the time of year here. I'm recording this a few days earlier, but the day that this talk is going to be released will be on Memorial Day weekend. And here in the U.S., it's a time to honor all of those who lost their lives in service of the country. And so I'd like to just take a moment together and send love to those souls and their loved ones. It's a step of living in service to something larger than yourself. And that's something to which we can all aspire to do. And that's why we're going to talk about the great saints and sages today, because they too lived in service of something much greater than their individual selves. And I'd like to invite you to contemplate some of the people in your life who may have exemplified that. Maybe somebody who was an incredible deep listener and gave a healing space to the people that conversed with them. Maybe somebody who put themselves in harm's way for their job. Maybe somebody who just always looked out for what needs people had and was ready to lend a helping hand. Maybe the people who led you to your love of Spirit. I'd like to acknowledge my parents today. This time of year is the time of year of Mother's Day and Father's Day and both of their birthdays. And so it's a time of year, I think, very much about my appreciation for them. But they also exemplified this to me. They had a deep love, they have a deep love for God. And they look out for what other people's needs are and generally have an overall outlook in life to see how they can be a benefit to this world, an upliftment. And that has been a great inspiration to me. So I encourage you to take some time today to reflect in appreciation for all those who have inspired you to live beyond just your own individual self and have drawn you closer to Spirit and have drawn you closer to the oneness and connectedness that is the reality of all beings on this planet and all creation. We're really all one and connected. I find it helpful to, in thinking about this topic, to read about some of the stories of the lives of people who have influenced me as well, who I didn't actually know in this life, but nonetheless had a big influence on me. So you may, since you're here watching a Sunburst talk, you might have a copy of Norm Paulson's Autobiography, Life of God. He was Sunburst's founder. And it's full of stories of his life, and his teacher, Paramahansa Yogananda, also has an autobiography with a lot of stories of how the people that influenced them and how they developed and cultivated their love of the divine and their love of the oneness of all beings. So in thinking about living in service of something larger than ourselves, I kept thinking about the story from Yogananda's autobiography about the levitating saint. And there's a few different stories he tells about this saint in that chapter, Baduri Mahashaya. And the one that I always think of is when one of the other students, this is somebody that lived nearby Yogananda when Yogananda was young, and so he went often to visit this particular saint. And one of the other students one day said, "Master, you are wonderful. You have renounced riches and comforts to seek God and teach us wisdom." It was well known that Baduri Mahashaya had forsaken great family wealth in his early childhood, when single-mindedly he had entered the yogic path. "You are reversing the case." The saint's face held a mild rebuke. "I have left a few paltry rupees, a few petty pleasures, for a cosmic empire of endless bliss. How then have I denied myself anything? I know the joy of sharing the treasure. Is that a sacrifice?" There's so much we can access when we have a devotion to knowing our true nature, learning about God, understanding where we come from, who is our source, who are our divine mother and father, who is the creator, what is this consciousness, where does this love come from. What nestled in this chapter as well is just a short advice from Levitating Saint to Yogananda, that the goal is not the meditation, the goal is the direct perception of the divine. From that, we can become great channels of service and upliftment to this world. I'd like to go into a quiet meditation now. Let us open our hearts, open our minds to greater perception of the divine, greater perception of our true nature, of the divine mother and father weaving us together as part of this whole creation, and to become present and receptive. Just allow your breath to relax and follow the inhale, feeling it cool through your nose, and follow the exhale, feeling it warm out your nose. Just gently inviting communion with the divine. In meditation, we turn our senses and our attention inward. How do we take this experience out into our day? If we feel an upliftment, a greater love, a greater peace, a greater awareness in our meditation, what about when we go out into carrying out our regular day-to-day lives? For me, affirmations usually help turn my attention back to the greater experiences or truths or feelings that I had during meditation. Taking a moment to take stock of my breath, remind myself of that affirmation can really help me come back to that center. If you feel inspired to take on this one, this is the one on my mind. I live in service to the divine nature of all creation. I live in service to the divine nature of all creation. It can be yours if you want it. You can make up your own. Just find something that helps remind you of the time in your meditation. Something to remind you of our oneness and our true nature of connection with the divine. I'll close with a short prayer. O Divine Spirit, flood our hearts with your peace. Fill our minds with your wisdom. And make us a channel for the upliftment of all. Amen. I wish you a very beautiful day, and I can't wait to see you all in person sometime soon.
Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Divine mother, 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 my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Divine mother, 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 my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Divine mother, 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 my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Divine mother, 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 my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Divine mother, 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 my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Divine mother, 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 my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Divine mother, 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 my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Divine mother, 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 my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Divine mother, 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 my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Divine mother, 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 my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother. Engrossed is the bee of my mind on the blue lotus feet of my divine mother.